Across the nation, the health of Irish families is in decline. In this series, 6 households in desperate need of a health overhaul go under the microscope and open their doors to the scrutiny of a team of medical experts. Dr. Sinead Byrne's mission is to reverse the steady decline of the nation's health.
We can reduce the incidence of chronic diseases with prevention, and that starts in the home.
Fitness guru Professor Niall Moyna is on a crusade to get the country moving.
Unless we radically transform the lifestyle of our children, they are going to be the first generation that will not outlive their parents.
Dr. Nina Burns is a passionate advocate of families taking control of their well-being.
We don't need doctors to keep us well. We need a healthy lifestyle.
And nutritionist Daniel Davey wants to change the way we think about food.
We can't underestimate the value of eating good food.
A week of scanning and screening will reveal what's really going on.
If that got worse, it could precipitate a heart attack.
And the cold, hard facts will come out in the consultation room.
You have type 2 diabetes.
They'll have 8 weeks to turn their lives around. The households are facing the challenge of a lifetime.
Just didn't think it was worth it.
All whilst under the glare of a doctor in the house. Under medical supervision this week are 45-year-old Fergal and 42-year-old Carol Wickham from Dublin, and their twin girls, Caoimhe and Saoirse, who are almost 3. Fergal drives a taxi and Carol works in marketing, but they've organised their professional life to work around time with their girls.
So this is my long commute to work.
The balance that we have now is that I get to spend all day, every day with my kids. They don't see me going to work at all because they go to bed before I go out the door. And they get to see their mum on a regular basis because their mum isn't sitting on one of the orbital routes around Dublin in traffic trying to get to a business park into an office. So absolutely, it's working out very well.
As well as looking after the kids all day, Fergal takes on most of the cooking, a task he loves doing.
I love food and I love cooking, so everything that we would cook in the house will usually come fresh. So we use fresh vegetables, we don't use any bottles of sauces.
It's great to see the children involved in the cooking like that.
Fergal was once a keen sportsman.
We did competitive swimming when we were kids, probably from the age of 8 up to the age of about 15. I would have played water polo badly for Drogheda for many years. And I would also be involved in outdoor swimming, culminating in the Liffey swim every year in September.
It's good that, well, at least he's out, he's physically active, but it's amazing for someone, you know, who was an elite swimmer. He's certainly put on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not doing this enough at the moment. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Previous to the kids arriving, I would have been an awful lot lighter than I am now and an awful lot more active than I am now. I would have gone to the gym quite a bit, but that's all fallen away in the last 3 years.
Now Fergal finds very little time for exercise as he drives a taxi 5 evenings a week.
Fergal's out working and I want to chill. I'd open a bottle of wine and I'd probably do that maybe 4 or 5 times a week. And it's my sort of celebration when the kids have gone to bed and there's quiet in the house and I've gotten through the day, and you know, that's my switch off.
And the bad habits don't end there.
I love crisps. I'm not a huge chocolate eater, but I do eat chocolate. Will I buy large packets of crisps, dry roasted peanuts and a chocolate bar on a Friday evening? Yes, absolutely I will.
And it doesn't help matters that Carol isn't a fan of exercise.
I've never really been one to exercise. I mean, when I was in school, I hated PE. I've just never been into sports. I've never enjoyed playing any sort of sports, whether it's a solo sport or a group sport or going to the gym. It just has never appealed.
But now the Wickhams have become concerned about the effect their sedentary lifestyle has had on their health.
I would worry that the two of us are overweight, that the two of us are dealing with young children who are only 3 years of age. So I would worry that the two of us would be in failing health at a time when the kids need their parents to be at the full of their health.
For me, it's about being healthier and being around as long as possible for my girls.
being parents in their 40s. Those two little girls must be like a real motivational factor for them to, you know, get fit and healthy.
The big problem is going to be Carol. I mean, she seems to have absolutely no interest.
No.
She kept talking about sport, but we needed to get her talking about being physically active and not about sport at all.
Yeah.
Dr. Nina arrives in Clongriffin to begin the week of observation.
It's always important when people are carrying weight to look at the bigger picture, so I'll be having a chat with both of them to look at their history, and I'll be doing bloods and a full examination to see is there anything else we need to worry about apart from weight.
She starts with a top-to-toe examination on twin girls Caoimhe and Saoirse. The twins might be the picture of health, but Nina is keen to assess the health of their parents. 45-year-old Fergal is next to be examined.
There's a family history of heart disease. So my father has had quadruple heart bypass, and he's on a litany of drugs on the back of that.
What age was he when he had the bypass?
He was 50.
He's carrying a significant amount of weight, and he does have a family history of cardiovascular disease and various cancers, so obesity would be an increased risk for all of those things.
Finally, Nina examines 42-year-old Carol.
Any other medical problems you're aware of?
I take anxiety tablets as well.
Okay.
So I started suffering from panic attacks about 6-7 years ago.
So she's been on medication really for the guts of 7 years. She's doing well at the moment, so you know it's something that we can maybe consider whether she could reduce it if she stays well, but it's something you'd have to do very carefully. Do you drink alcohol, Carol?
I do.
Tell me about that.
Wine is my treat. I would probably have a glass of wine most evenings, at least 5 evenings a week.
How many bottles of wine would you drink a week?
Maybe 5.
Okay, and how long have you done that for?
A good while, yeah, probably a good few years, yeah.
The only thing that worried me a bit was her blood pressure was slightly up, and I checked it a few times and it stayed up. Given that she's drinking a massive amount of alcohol, I do need to look into that further.
It's day 2, and nutritionist Daniel Davey has arrived to try and learn more about the family's diet.
Just looking around, a quick observation, you really do have all the tools, don't you?
Well, yeah, this is what I like to play with during the day. So yes, cooking utensils, there's a few nice knives there.
Who does the majority of the cooking?
I do the majority of the cooking in the house.
While Fergal starts cooking dinner from scratch, Daniel is joining Carol on an outing to the park.
How do you think you expend the most energy? What takes up, in terms of physical activity, what do you think you do?
I mean, at the moment, I don't do a lot to expend my energy, hence why I am putting on weight.
Okay.
Because I'm not.
Okay. Are we there?
We are here.
Great. There's no need to drive 2 or 3 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. We should be walking. Fergal and Carol are leading very sedentary lives. They're not working physical activity in day to day, and this is important for their health, but it's also important for their children's health.
Back home, dinner is well underway, and Daniel wants to do a bit more digging.
Fergal, I'm seeing lots of healthy ingredients, a really well set up kitchen, a fridge full of fruit and vegetables. Where's the problem areas and what are the pitfalls?
Our biggest issue is that on 2 or 3 nights of the week when I'm going out to do a class, or Carol has a busy meeting, or she has a busy schedule, or she's been in town, or I've had the kids on my back, we resort to takeaways, and there isn't a takeaway out there that I don't like. Yeah.
Okay. Their portion sizes and the amount of calories that they're consuming through their dinners and main meals is just too much. And there's a serious problem with their takeaways. Coupled with the inactivity, what you have is an imbalance. You know, there's just too much energy coming in through their diet. They're not expending.
Is Mommy a good cook?
Daddy a good cook.
What about Mummy, Caoimhe?
You're working.
That's true, I am working.
Daddy cooking.
Daddy cooking, yes.
As the week progresses, Dr. Sinead arrives to observe the Wickhams, just as Fergal is getting stuck into the housework.
Can I check your pulse if you don't mind?
You can.
It's fairly physical work, isn't it?
Oh, no, it is.
You said it gets your heart racing, all right. So when I checked his pulse, it was 120 beats per minute, which is very high for just mopping a floor. For someone in their mid-40s, I'd be quite concerned about his fitness.
Hi guys, it's wet out there.
Carol comes home from work and it's dinner time.
Hey, how are you doing? Can I place an order for a collection, please? It's Fergal. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Like, you're probably a regular there. They know you.
Yes.
They know you by name.
They know me more by name. They won't ask my name when I
nice.
walk through the door.
You didn't have to look at the menu, I noticed.
You know you're in trouble when you walk in the door of the Chinese and they go, how are you, Fergal?
Yeah.
Sinead joins Fergal on a trip to the off-licence for some beers and wine before picking up the Chinese.
No. Sorry.
Sorry.
You know when people say, oh, I had the other half of the Chinese for breakfast?
Yeah.
I'm kind of going, what other half of the Chinese? What are you talking about?
You would polish it.
Sorry, I'm not being smart, but
No.
I think we don't know why we're fat. I know why I'm fat. I know why I'm overweight.
So, Carol, what are they now?
They're chicken balls.
Chicken balls.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fergal likes them.
I don't like them, I love them.
Chicken balls.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen chicken rolls before, would you believe?
Where are you from?
I am.
It's only for the camera.
So I'm not that familiar with Chinese.
So I ordered a duck and mushroom and black bean sauce. I got fried noodles with that, soft fried noodles. I got chicken balls with chips and curry sauce. And Carol is having the chicken fried rice.
Yeah.
And some spring rolls.
But this would be a normal portion size for Fergal. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm shocked to see the sheer volume of food that was on that table, and knowing that Fergal is going to absolutely finish it all. You know, it's not just about the aesthetics of being overweight, that's not good. I mean, he doesn't realise that he's got huge central obesity and all the various different complications he's going to have for that. You know, hypertension, blood pressure is waiting around the corner, you know, type 2 diabetes. And I think he knows it's not good, but I don't think he fully understands how damaging it is to him.
Coming up, cardiac testing for Fergal, Carol confronts her fear of exercise, and the couple learn the truth about their health.
Your worst fears may actually become a reality.
For the past week, Fergal and Carol Wickham from Dublin have been under medical supervision to determine how their lifestyle is affecting their health. Based on their worries for the Wickhams, the doctors have referred the couple for a number of hospital tests.
We're putting them in for ultrasounds of their abdomen. I particularly am interested in their livers, to be honest. The other test that we're putting them in for is a 24-hour blood pressure monitor for Carol, because she's had a number of high blood pressure readings just purely on examination.
Okay, and you're going to wear it for 24 hours. Sure. And it's going to automatically take your blood pressure every 20 minutes during the day and every hour during the night time. Okay.
Fergal has a very significant family history of premature cardiovascular disease, and because of that we're putting him in for an echo of his heart just to make sure his heart is functioning properly. You know, he's carrying extra weight, he has a number of risk factors, and we need to make sure the heart is in good order.
The Wickhams have been summoned to Professor Niall Moyna's HQ for a full fitness assessment.
I'm really happy to be here today. Not quite so, you, Carl?
No, I'm the complete opposite.
They each undergo a pulmonary function test to assess the health of their lungs.
Blast!
Height and weight measurements are taken to calculate their body mass index. And Carol and Fergal undergo a DEXA scan to assess the amount of body fat versus lean tissue mass.
I mean, Carol and Fergal, they're typical of so many couples, you know, who get married, have kids, and all of a sudden they've other priorities, trying to juggle work and their kids, and their health gets left behind. And, you know, Fergal in particular is a classic example. You know, for a guy that used to swim, get up in the morning at 5:30 to swim, you know, now he has to find time in his day to exercise, and that's quite a change for him.
Carol, everything looks good? That's great.
The biggest challenge for the couple today will be the VO2 max test, a complete measurement of fitness levels and cardiovascular health. Carol is particularly apprehensive, as the last time she exercised on a treadmill, it triggered a panic attack.
Really well.
That's great. Your numbers are still going up, Carol. Your numbers are still going up. That's great. Good tight C in the mouthpiece. Come on. Keep it going, Carol. Okay, grab the bar if you want to stop. Okay.
I was afraid doing this because, you know, I associate pushing myself and getting out of breath with having a panic attack, even though there's no rational reason to. So the fact that I've done this and, you know, pushed myself and felt good about pushing myself and didn't have a panic attack is sort of a win-win.
That looks good there. Is that okay? Okay.
Fergal is determined to give it his best shot.
Good. Very good, Fergal. Everything looks good. 10 seconds. 9. You want to keep going? You grab the bar, I count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them keep going if you want still. Okay, grab the bar, you want to stop. Okay. Good man. What's the feeling now?
I'm just getting the breath.
At the end of the test, he was really hyperventilating, finding it very difficult to breathe. He's probably said to himself, boy, my fitness has really deteriorated to where it was, 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh my God, I am so proud of you. I can't believe, first of all, he jogged it, and then how far you pushed yourself. I'm so proud of you. I thought you did so well.
How well Fergal has really done is about to be revealed, as the couple have been called to the consultation room. After a week of testing and observation, they're about to discover the truth about the state of their health.
I'm hoping we won't find anything we don't already know.
I don't think that the tests are going to show us anything that we didn't know already.
They're both on the brink of chronic illnesses. It's like we have just caught them before they've fallen over the cliff. And that's shocking at their young age.
To begin, Daniel wants to address some of the Wickham's bad habits.
So we're going to have a look at the kind of calories that you're consuming from a typical Chinese takeaway. From that Chinese takeaway, you're consuming 2,690 calories in one sitting. Your daily requirement for calories is approximately 2,200. So you could have 4 really good days, and then with just one meal, you've overconsumed a full day's worth of calories, because that overconsumption of calories is doing some serious damage.
Fergal, we start with your body composition, and if you take a look at the screen here, this is your DEXA scan, and your body fat is 36%. That's double where it should be. Beyond that, I'd like to see that below 15%. Your BMI is 37, and that's class 2 obese. You have stopped being a regular exerciser, and this is clearly manifested in the results of your fitness test. You're well below average for your age. You're actually in the bottom 35%. So for you, with your increased levels of obesity, your low levels of cardiovascular fitness, and your family history, that's something you really have to take very seriously. Carol, we monitored your activity by having you wear an accelerometer during an average working day. So this is your step count over a 24-hour period, and you're getting around 3,970, less than 4,000. Now that's just basically doing minimum. You should be getting 10,000 a day at a minimum. Your BMI also classes you as obese.
Okay.
And then there's the fitness test. You rank in the bottom 5% for your age.
Okay.
And that doesn't surprise me. Taking 4,000 steps a day, you're just about moving to stay alive.
So Fergal, looking at the lifestyle, I was genuinely very worried about your heart, particularly given your family history. So we sent you also for an echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of the heart. It looks at the structure, it looks at the pump function, and it gives a very good indication of your overall heart health. So the good news is the structure of your heart was normal. Okay?
Very good.
Okay. Are you surprised at that, or?
I'm happy that you told me that my heart is in reasonably good order, so it's good that there's nothing permanently wrong with it at the moment. So,
Carol, based on what you told us, we estimate you're drinking about 5 bottles of wine a week, and so we're calculating you're drinking at least 40 standard drinks in a week.
Okay.
So the max amount of alcohol that a woman should drink is 11 standard drinks a week. And the thing is, obviously, alcohol doesn't just affect the liver, it can affect nearly every organ in your body, but also it has effect on our cardiovascular system and particularly on our blood pressure. So we did a 24-hour blood pressure monitor to get a better picture of what your blood pressure is really like.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I have to tell you that on that blood pressure monitor, your blood pressure was elevated.
Okay.
So the level at which you're drinking is doing you harm.
Okay.
Fergal, everything we're talking about is really starting to take its toll on you internally. So we did the liver ultrasound, and in your case, Fergal, it showed that you have fatty liver. I'm not sure, did you consider your liver in all of this at all, or was that something that surprises you?
it's not it's a term I've only heard of recently, so I don't know a huge amount about it, but...
So, like, your liver is under stress. It's the combination of the alcohol and the overconsumption of carbohydrates and sugar. But I'm afraid that's not all that we found with your bloods. Your fasting insulin level was very high, and when we did a calculation, it turns out that you are in fact insulin resistant, Fergal. So you're a step away from type 2 diabetes, literally a step away. If you were to develop type 2 diabetes, that would increase your risk of having a heart attack 5-fold.
If you don't radically change your lifestyle and prioritize your health, your worst fears about not being around for your 2 girls when they're in their 20s may actually become a reality.
I think we've both gotten a wake-up call. I think we're both immensely lucky.
So from now on, the priority will be exercise as opposed to work. The exercise will come first, and the work will have to come second in our life, because there's no point in being very successful and, you know, having lots of money in the bank if you haven't got the health to enjoy it.
Coming up, the Wickhams come to terms with their doctor's orders.
The wine consumption has to be stopped for the next 8 weeks.
Fergal gets back in the pool, and Carol falls off the exercise wagon.
But you know, there's sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone, because there's nothing more important than your health.
Okay.
Overconsumption and a lack of exercise are causing the Wickhams serious health problems. Carol has borderline hypertension, while her husband Fergal has a fatty liver and is on the verge of type 2 diabetes. To reverse the damage, the doctor's orders are to follow a healthy meal plan, exercise daily, and to cut out alcohol.
The wine consumption has to be stopped for the next 8 weeks. No takeaways like pizza or Chinese. Don't drink any calories.
I think in my entire life I've only ever given up drink for January once. So I think out of everything that I have to do, that's probably going to be the hardest.
So we have a couple of social things coming up.
We have a couple of social events coming up that we're going to have to do without drinking.
Yeah.
It's not an issue, is it?
No. Oh my God, week 2 he has me running.
It's just going to be a bit of a job now to get Carol up off her desk and get her moving as actively as they want her to be moving, because they were talking about 10,000 steps a day, and that's a lot.
If Fergal or anything is harping on at me, yeah, that'll just be red rag to a bull for me.
So you're looking forward to the amount of exercise you've been asked to do?
Yeah, I mean, on paper it looks easy. I just have to do it now.
Have we do it now?
It's week 1, and Carol is trying to build up her step count.
Normally I bring the girls to the park in the car, so We've compromised today that they'll go in the buggy as long as they're not strapped in.
And she's coming to terms with doctor's orders to give up alcohol.
Look, I always knew I drank too much and it was a habit that I needed to get out of. I use wine as a de-stressor and it's obviously not. I'm actually glad I'm being sort of pushed into a corner in a way, because that's sort of the way I work.
Former competitive swimmer Fergal is back in the pool, but he's not quite like a fish to water.
No, I started back in the pool about a week ago, so finding it very hard to get up to speed. Finding it very hard to meet the sort of times that I usually swim on when I'm swimming in the pool. And I'm running out of breath pretty early in the session, which is a pain in the arse.
The Wickhams are getting used to less starchy carbs, and Carol is taking on more cooking.
I haven't been missing potatoes or anything like that too much with the dinner, or rice or anything like that. We've tended to be sort of sticking to dinners where we have, you know, maybe meat and a large salad that's quite filling and things like that. I'm definitely not feeling deprived and I'm not feeling hungry, but I guess, you know, 1 or 2 evenings where we've just been swamped busy, it would have been just so easy to pick up the phone and, you know, get the takeaway.
It's week 3, and inclement weather is presenting the Wickhams with the first test of their resolve.
Fergal would normally be working, so it's a bit of a treat to have him here on a Saturday evening because of the weather. And yeah, anything you want to add?
This sucks. Very hard to fill your evening with cups of green tea and fairly little else. So yeah, when everybody else was out yahooing it for the snow for 2 or 3 nights, we were sat in taking it nice and easy and didn't fall off the wagon, but really did miss it at that point in time.
Didn't get out for a walk again today, so feeling a bit bad about that and a bit cranky not getting out in the fresh air. Last night we ended up going to bed about 9:30. I wanted to drink the house, Fergal wanted to eat the house.
Despite the difficult conditions, Fergal still manages to find ways to exercise.
When the snow came down, the spinning bike in the shed actually got a good lash, and I found that it was very easy to walk to the bottom of the garden and do some cardiovascular by myself without having to leave the house. Okay, just at the end of the 40-minute workout on YouTube. Heart rate up, sweating like a dog, very tired, and even though it's freezing out here, the place is heated up just nicely.
The snow finally melts, but Carol has missed 5 days of exercise. Niall is on his way to find out why.
What about, we have a bicycle here, is that correct? An exercise bike?
Yeah, no. I talked about using it. I didn't use it. I'm not going to use it. I know I'm not going to use it in the long term. So I didn't use it.
You just don't like it, you know?
I just don't like it.
But you know, there's sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone because there's nothing more important than your health.
Okay.
And even if it's only short bouts of 5 minutes, 4 to 6 times a day, I don't care. I want you making the effort. So from now on, when we have bad weather and then we can't leave the house, you've got to find a way to be active.
Okay.
That's what's important. Okay?
Yeah.
Niall is keen to see her back out exercising regularly.
Obviously, we're not getting our 10,000 steps at the moment, and you're getting there.
Yeah.
But an easy way to do that is, even during the day in the office, is to just leave the office, walk 5 minutes from your front door and 5 minutes back. So there's 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, now that you're saying that, I'm sort of thinking, actually, if I know I have a call with a client, there's actually nothing stopping me being on the phone and walking around here.
Hopefully, they'll realise the importance that these lifestyle changes will make to both their physical and mental health, and that reward in itself should be enough to keep them going.
The Wickhams are over the halfway mark, and while Carol catches up on her exercise programme, Fergal has upped the ante on his.
So the new routine is 3 mornings a week at 7 a.m. getting up to the gym. I was always a swimmer and I was always able to swim train, so I'm still getting in the pool 3 times a week, which does great things for cardiovascular. So my heart rate is dropping and I'm getting fitter and I'm working harder. But what swimming wouldn't do is it wouldn't work the core of my body, so you still find that you're carrying the tummy, and where you want to lose the weight, swimming is just not going to take it off. But this absolutely does it, and it does it in spades. Every different one of these hurts you in a different place, and by the time you're finished you're hurting everywhere, so it's the general idea behind it.
And Carol is beginning to feel the benefits of the new healthy diet.
We haven't had a takeaway in 5 weeks, which is like not heard of. I'm definitely feeling fitter. I definitely feel as if I'm losing the weight. I'm fitting into clothes now that I haven't fitted into for over a year, which is like a whole new wardrobe all over again that doesn't cost me any money. So Fergal's very happy about that. So, yeah, I mean, you know, things like that just naturally, you know, make you feel better about yourself and more confident about yourself.
With her improved self-esteem, Carol now feels it's time to look at coming off her antidepressant medication. Dr. Sinead is calling by to talk her through the transition.
I've been on them for longer than I should have been. I ended up just staying on the tablets, and certainly when I set out to do this programme, you know, one of the things was, well, this would put good foundations in place to come off the tablets, because I don't need them anymore.
Yeah. For mild depression, really antidepressants don't actually have a role. Exercise is really the preferred drug. It's only if depression is moderate to severe that you need to go and do something about it and medicate it. And you know, there's 3 different treatments: exercise, talk therapy and the medication, antidepressants. You're on Prozac 40 milligrams. So you know, if you're feeling ready to kind of come down off that, I would, you know, divide that in half and maybe take 20 milligrams for a month, see how you feel. And then maybe the following month, I would go every second day, maybe taking the 20, then every third day. And within the space of a month, you know, getting off that 20. You go by how you're feeling, but that's what I would do. So not a sudden stop. So it's really important to have a talk with your GP who knows you well. But I think Carol is in a good place now. You know, she knows herself that she doesn't need it, which is fantastic. And I suppose she's a good advertisement for lifestyle medicine.
The Wickens are over 5 weeks in, and there's one social occasion coming up that they can't avoid: Caoimhe and Saoirse's birthday party.
The birthday parties would typically involve the adults having a couple of glasses of wine and beers. We'd, you know, cook a lot of food.
With doctor's orders to avoid alcohol and convenience foods, this will be a bit of a challenge for the couple.
Will you not find the sausages hard? You adore sausages.
The kids are in at 2:30. The kids will be gone by 5 o'clock. Everything will be tidied up and thrown in the bin by 5:30. So you've got a 3-hour window to keep your cake hole shut and keep your hands in your pockets.
Stop saying cake hole.
All right, what do you want?
Mate. It's a mate.
It's cake hole.
Happy birthday, Saoirse and Caoimhe.
The big day comes and the birthday goes off without a hitch. 6 weeks into their programme, Fergal has really found his groove in the pool.
Really picked up the pace, really picked up the distance, starting to regularly hit 8, 9, 10 kilometres a week in the pool. Patrick, who swam with me, did the channel back in September, so you couldn't find a fitter or harder walker than Patrick to swim with. Absolutely invaluable. Everybody needs a friend like that.
But there are some elements of the doctor's orders that Fergal is still struggling with.
The one thing that I would say is that even though we have given up alcohol for 8 weeks, I liked my beer, and there is no way I could see myself on an ongoing basis forsaking the demon drink. The only thing I would say is that, will I go back to sitting on the couch on a Friday evening with nobody there eating a pizza, drinking beer? The answer is no. I'll save the alcohol consumption for special occasions like the Dubs winning the All-Ireland again and again.
Having upped her efforts in the last few weeks, Carol is finally getting the exercise bug.
If somebody had told me 12 months ago that I'd be even doing a light jog, never mind anything else, I would have said no way. But I'm doing it. I'm enjoying the time out from the house, away from Fergal and the girls, away from work. I put these in, I listen to music, and it's actually bliss.
Coming up, can Fergal meet expectations on the retests?
Finish it out, 10 seconds. Okay, grab the bar. Okay, well done.
And Daniel catches the couple off guard.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you, Fergal? What's happening? We're here to see how you're getting on.
Are you? Come on in.
Great.
As the Wickhams near the end of their 8 weeks, Daniel wants to make one last house call.
So it's a Sunday evening, and that's usually the time when Fergal kicks back, enjoys a couple of beers, and Carl might have a glass of wine. It's a perfect time to see if they're doing what they should.
If they're following doctor's orders, the couple should be abstaining from alcohol for the good of their health. But tonight, they're not expecting visitors, and Daniel is about to find out how well they're sticking to the plan.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you, Fergal? What's happening? We're here to see how you're getting on.
Are you? Come on in.
Great, great.
The place is in a bleeding state.
That's all right. That's all right. Good evening. How are you? I didn't know what to expect, really, but we've got maybe a bit of truth behind some old habits that have shown up again tonight. A little bit disappointed, I'm not going to lie. There was more than one can of beer and certainly more than one glass of wine have been consumed there tonight. Are you sticking to the plan?
We have, more or less.
More or less?
More or less,
Okay.
yeah.
Having a glass of wine?
I am having a glass of wine.
Having
I am
beer?
chilling on a Sunday evening.
A glass of cider, yes.
This is kind of your spot check or your temptation test. So, how do you think you've done?
And we failed miserably because we're here having a glass of wine.
What is it?
I wouldn't mind, we've been so bloody good.
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed. They should have been able to see it out. A glass of wine, a bottle of beer, there's no problem with that. Everybody needs to live. But for me, there was probably more than a glass of wine and more than a bottle of beer. There is a case of beers and there's half a bottle of wine gone. So, you know, it's about balance, but is that balance? I'm not really convinced that it is.
The Wickhams have reached the end of their 8-week program, and they're back in DCU for the retests.
I know that I'll be substantially better than I was 8 weeks ago. There's no two ways about it.
I think I was in the bottom 5% for my age. That's really, really appalling. So I'm hoping that that will, you know, creep up.
Who's going to be faster, Mommy or Daddy?
Me!
You! Yeah, good call. I think so too.
Their weight and body composition is measured once again. But the truth about their progress with their cardiovascular fitness to date will be revealed by the VO2 max test.
They were in a bad place and there's only one way they could go, so hopefully with hard work over the last 8 weeks we will see substantial improvements today.
19, 20. Okay, when you want to stop, when you grab the bar, okay, that's it. Well done. How do you feel after that?
Bloody knackers.
Fergal has high expectations this time round.
For the last 8 weeks, I've averaged about 9k in the swimming pool. I've done laps and laps at the park. I've been at the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in a much different place than I was 8 weeks ago.
You're nearly there now. You have 20 seconds, you're done. Grab the bar in 20 seconds. I'll count you down. Okay? Good job. Good job. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Let's do it. I'll finish it out. Finish it out. 10 seconds. Okay, grab the bar. Okay, well done. Well done. Brilliant work. Now that's the max test. Stay there for a moment.
Having given it their all for 8 weeks, the couple returned to the consultation room for their results.
I think I'd be disappointed after all the hard work over the 8 weeks if there hadn't been an improvement.
I was really worried where their lives were going, and when we tested them, they already had signs of change. I mean, Carol had, elevated blood pressure. They obviously had high BMIs, and they both had abnormal liver function, and Fergal had fatty liver. So given their young age, that was really worrying, and gone unchecked, there's no doubt that would have got a lot worse.
The Wickens may have revamped their lifestyle, but have they done enough to improve their health? Niall has the results from DCU.
8 weeks ago, your BMI was 34, and that placed you in the obese category, and all of the health issues that are associated with that. You weighed 101 kilograms, and we set you the target of losing 5 to 10%, or roughly 5 to 10 kilograms over the 8 weeks. You've lost 8% of your body weight. We also retested your fitness. Your fitness levels have improved by 12%. So congratulations. But that does come with a warning. You are exercise shy. Although your fitness level has improved by 12%, you're not where I want you to be. There is still room for improvement. I'm not asking you to be a world-class athlete. You've found little ways to be physically active, going out for a walk, taking the kids out to play. That's what I mean by being physically active. It's getting up off the seat and finding ways to get activity into your life. And you've got to continue to do that.
I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to do it.
Fergal, you were literally in free fall. In free fall. Now, your initial weight was 128 kilos. You have lost 13 kilos, or in the old currency, 2 stone, which is a phenomenal achievement. And that doesn't happen by accident. That takes a lot of hard work, and we can see it on you today. You also had a substantial decrease in body fat, and just to let you know, you also had a 9% increase in lean body mass. So you've increased your muscle mass considerably over the past 8 weeks. So well done. And the good news is that your fitness levels have improved, and you have moved now from that poor category. You're now average for your age. And that's what you would have expected to see in an 8-week period. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm delighted with the results over the past 8 weeks. So plenty of work gone into it, but there's more to come in the future.
Fergal, 8 weeks ago, your liver was under major stress. So I can tell you now that your liver enzyme, gamma GT, has completely normalised. So although you didn't stick absolutely strictly to the no alcohol memo that we had sent you with 8 weeks ago, you have dramatically improved your ways.
So Carol, you obviously have made an effort to reduce your alcohol, and the bloods don't lie. So your liver was showing signs of stress before, but I'm glad to tell you that your gamma GT is now normal. So well done. And your blood pressure has come down, which again is down to the hard work that you've put in and the combination of diet and exercise. But I think I want to send a message home that it's something that you really do need to keep an eye on. And if you continue the plan that you've been given, continue with the lifestyle change, you know, the risk of stroke is something that is reduced dramatically for you. And I know that as the mum of 2 gorgeous little girls, that is something that will make you very happy.
Probably, Fergal, to be honest, the most worrying thing of all was the fact that we had to tell you that you were insulin resistant when we met you. You were literally eating your way to type 2 diabetes. So, Fergal, I would advise you not to rekindle your relationship with the Chinese, because what you have been doing has been working. You're no longer insulin resistant, and you're no longer in imminent danger of type 2 diabetes. So, very well done to you, Fergal, because, you know, that was a real crisis point, to be honest, and you have gone in the complete opposite direction now.
There's no disputing they did brilliantly. I mean, the results, bloods, fitness, body composition, they've all dramatically improved. But it is about that continued progression. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder, and that's what they really need to front up with now. That's what they need to commit to.
It's not that we're all the way there, we're not even half the way there yet, but certainly the breaking of lifetime habits over an 8-week period has been what I'm very, very happy with.
After 8 weeks of hard work, Carol and Fergal can really feel the improvements in their health, and Caoimhe and Saoirse are feeling the benefits of their parents' renewed vitality.
Come on, you're doing great! Wow! Will I go back to the way I was? Absolutely not. You know, the fact that we can come here today and run around with the girls, and just for the longevity of our lives, I mean, that's ultimately what it was, you know, about. I'd like to think that we did our damnedest to make sure that we did everything we could to be around for our girls.